I think everybody joined here. Can we start now? Okay. At least one person can be unmute and reply to me so that I will come to know.
Yes, Venkatesh, you're audible and it's over 5 minutes, so I guess we can.
Yeah, thank you, Rishi. Hey, you are the contact person to me here.
No, I'm not. Yeah, but I can just
No, normally I'm
you're
not saying.
audible.
Guys, this is Venkatesh Leela. Okay, today I'm going to give the demo session related to Microsoft Dynamics 365 and what is the use of Dynamics 365 and how it will help to the real-time scenario and what is the use of this ERP for our organization to run the business. Okay, now I'm sharing my screen. Let me know if you're able to see my screen.
Yes.
This is visible? Oh.
Yeah.
So I'm going to show you some agenda requirements related to the basic information of the ERP. Okay. Today we are going to cover the ERP introduction and different technologies used for the ERP. Okay. I will tell you one after one what is the use and how it will help to the business, the ERP, and introduction about the D365 and version of AX and the new features in the Dynamics 365 involved in the Microsoft. And here the architecture that we are using in the Microsoft Dynamics and set up your workspace, like when you're going to start your environment, how we will configure the workspace using this LCS and all. And application object tree, how this will help to create the application, to build the application in Dynamics 365 and plot implementation. Like what are the objects and elements required to implement or develop something in the Dynamics 365. Okay. Let's start like basic information related to the ERP. How this ERP will work and what is the ERP first? ERP stands for Enterprise Resource Planning. This we are using for the day-to-day activities. Like example, in the business to run, what kind of modules required and what are the activities objects are related to the ERP which you are using to run the business with the less cost. And how the ERP will integrate it with the different kind of domains, like to transfer the transaction data, to maintain the data, to run the business. We need the required inventory details related to the different kind of modules. Like ERP is a software that organizes you to manage day-to-day business activities such as accounting and procurement and finance management. So these are the modules that we are using in the ERP software. Using this module, we are maintaining the business. Like example, I have a production company. The production, what kind of requirements is required to manufacture some raw material is required. The plant and warehouse site is required to store the inventory. Hello.
Yes, can hear you, Venkatesh.
Somebody raise the person. Okay. And here also supply chain operation. This is also enough more of module that we are using in the ERP. So, and major part of the ERP system, we have enterprise performance management. Like in the organization, we are maintaining the employee details, right? When she joined, and what is the designation, whether she can eligible for the promotion, all the kind of details you can store into the HR and resource mode, like human resource mode. And by using the ERP system, we can tie with the multiple business process. Example, I have two different products like Dynamic AX and CRM. I want to integrate with the Dynamic AX data with the CRM product. So here we have a feature in the ERP. We can collect the data from the one application and we can transfer to the integration to other applications. like integrity option is provided by the Microsoft from the ERP. We can exchange and transfer the data. Can you please mute from your side? I'm getting some disturbance. If you want to speak, you can raise the cursor. So from ERP system, we can integrate with the single source of the path, and we can integrate with the multiple different kind of applications. We can transfer the transaction data from one application to other application. This is called the integration part. This feature is available in the ERP system. Okay. And what kind of the features and pattern that we are using in the ERP platform? So these are the key functions in the enterprise resource planning system. Financial and supply chain, inventory, and ERP. Inventory is the heart of the ERP. Without having inventory, we cannot run the business. Okay. So what is the inventory? Inventory is a stock that we have. Example, as I told you that I have a production. Without having the raw material, I cannot start any production, right? So those kind of raw material details, like example, if I want to manufacture the cable, like wires and all, what are the things is the raw material here? Wire to manufacture the wire, rubber is a raw material, copper is a raw material, water is a raw material for coolant. So these kind of information that we are storing in the inventory module. So these are different kind of modules that we are using in the Microsoft Dynamics ERP. Okay, and the planning, project management, and service operations, and HR. HR is the human resource module. As I told you that it will complete details of the employee who is working in the organization that we are going to store, and those transactions available in the HR module. The CRM is a customer relationship management. This is part of ERP system, but our section and our demo is related to the Microsoft Dynamics 365. So here ERP, we are using two different kinds of the products like CRM, Navision, and Microsoft Dynamics. So briefly here on the picture you can see what different kind of the technologies that we are using from the Microsoft Dynamics. Microsoft Dynamics, we have total 5, but over here we are using only 3 in the market. I'm going to tell you the difference between the Dynamics and Navision and the CRM. Okay, so mostly based upon the requirement as per the organization needs, what kind of model is required for the business, they are choosing the product. So to run the business, ERP software is required, and to develop application, to develop something related to as per the requirement which we need to the client organization. We are deciding which product is required. Okay, here we have Microsoft Dynamics 8. The screen is visible, right? You can able to see the picture. And zoom here.
Yes.
Okay. Microsoft Dynamics, we have a total 5 ports. Okay. Microsoft Dynamics AX is an acceptor. The old version we are calling acceptor like Microsoft Dynamics 8, but new version from the year of 2016 November, the Microsoft introduced the latest version is D365. We are calling it the Dynamics 365. And this Dynamics 365 using for the CRM and the Microsoft AX acceptor. Okay. How it will relate it to that? The Microsoft Dynamics 365 is a cloud-hosted environment. Like no need to install any application in our server. Example, if you want to use the Power BI, you need to install the Power BI desktop. And earlier 2012 version in the Microsoft Dynamics, we have to install the dynamic application in our machine, and we can create the separate dev boxes and UAT environment and production environment. If user want to test something and develop this from the development side, we have to use the Windows application only. But now in the D365 from 2016, we can able to access from the cloud because the D365 is introduced and it is hosted in the cloud. It is available in the IaaS. User can access using the URL of the machine related to the specific environment, whether it is development machine or UAT or production. No need to install any applications related to Microsoft. This is a feature introduced by the Microsoft. And the difference of 2012 and Microsoft Dynamics 365. Here is 2012 is a version that we are using with the Windows application, and D365 is a cloud hosted environment. If we have a URL and applications, you can directly access. N number of users can access through the browser. No need to install any specific application. And over here, in standard of objects, we can directly apply the customization in 2012 old version. But D365 part, with Microsoft Store object, overriding the standard object. Only if you want to create some changes, additional changes as per your requirement, you have to create extensions of each object. That I will show you in upcoming training session, but basic information I'm giving related to the version. Okay. Now, what is the product of Microsoft Dynamics 365? As you can see, and don't confuse Dynamics 365 and Dynamics 8, because our training session only related to the aspect of that we are calling short as A, and the latest version is D365. Okay. I will use in the pronunciation called Dynamics 365. You guys can understand, right? So here the Microsoft Dynamics AX is multiple language, multiple currencies industry specific. Like what is the meaning of multiple currencies in multiple language? And the global enterprise resource planning software product. Right. Here the ERP software that we are using as a Dynamics product to build an application. Okay. So Microsoft already built the standard applications of the Dynamics AX. So on top of the standard, as per the client requirement, we are going to change some customization. Like sales order, purchase order is already there. To run the business, we have a different kind of modules as I told you. Like each module having some specific functionality. Okay. On sales order and customer order, and vendors and purchase order, product information management, all these modules are available. So I have a requirement today, like I want to apply some customization from the purchase order. I need to create one customization report to filter the transactions of purchase. So directly in 2012, we can write on the top of the standard, like open the object, you can write our custom logic. It means override is allowed in the Dynamics 2012. But in the latest version, Microsoft stopped that feature. We should not change the standard object. It will be always constant. It will not allow to change anything. We have to use extensions to build and change it. So here multiple language, multiple currencies, industry specified means these dynamics we are using in the different countries like USA, UK, Europe countries, India, and Emirates, like UAE, Dubai countries, Gulf countries. So when it comes to the picture of multiple currencies, today I purchase some gold from the Dubai. I will purchase in dirhams, but I will do the payment settlement against the invoice in Indian currency. So how it is possible? In Dynamic AX is possible because we have a currency exchange functionality. Whenever you are purchasing something from the different country, different currencies, but you can do the payment in our own currency. So currency conversion and transaction, everything will be settled by the currency exchange functionality. The system will, these kind of features are available in our Dynamics. That's why they are calling multiple language, multiple currencies, industry specific. So mostly these Microsoft Dynamics AX using for the large base number of companies like glass factories and aluminum factories, like production based factories, like Hindustan Petroleum, to maintain the employee transactions and to maintain the performance management related modules. All these kind of features and functionalities we are using the dynamic AX.
Sir, I have one question. Can you hear me? Hello?
Hello?
Hello? Can you hear my voice?
Yeah, I can hear you, sir.
This currency exchange functionality is recently added in the D365. It was not available in earlier X version. Is it true?
No. It is introduced from the Microsoft from the beginning. From 2009, we have this functionality again.
Okay.
This Microsoft Dynamics we are running since 15 years.
Okay, fine.
This is you can see in this picture, this is a part of Microsoft family. These are all the products which you are running from the beginning of introduced by the Microsoft. So, like as I told you, the multiple currencies, multiple languages, like Europe language is different, and they can create a transaction in their language. And whenever we are changing the entity based upon the Indian, automatically the transaction will change to in our language. Even for the currencies also we can do the same. When you are accessing, we have an option called entity when you are opening the dynamic. We have an option called entity specific. We can choose the entity. If you see Shamal Group, Skydive in Dubai, right? That is one entity that they are using. So whenever you open that entity, it will filter only the specific to the company and what kind of currency that they are maintaining and what is the language that they choose. Is that clear? Okay. So the basic information difference between the AX 2012 and D365 latest version. Now you see here, coding is done in the Visual Studio. In D365 coding, we have to write only in the Visual Studio application. And also we can call Visual Studio tool. In 2012, since we have a Windows application, we are used to write the code in the MOFX language. But here we are using the coding in Visual Studio. And VSTS to be used for the version. Example, today I have a requirement like I need to develop one report for the purchase order or some sales order. I give the customer how much sales we have done for this year. I wrote the code in development server. I need to move this to the production. You guys know, right? What is the difference of development box and UAT environment? Okay, let me show you on this information. So development will be happen only in the dev boxes. We are calling in the short dev box. This is the one environment that we are using for the development. And once the development is completed, confirm from the functional team who is given to the task to you. After testing done in the development server from URL and functional team, we have to move the code to UAT. This UAT we are using for the testing purpose. The client will test from the UAT server, and even our functional also will test in the UAT. After verified and completely tested by the UAT, tested in UAT by the client, we are moving the code to production environment. We can call as live. This is the final. So to move this activity from development to UAT, UAT to production, how it will move the code? Directly it will not immediately go, right? So after development, we have to check in the code. The checking activity is involved in dynamic 365. 2012, we used to copy the project and paste into the UAT. And after tested in UAT, we are pasting into the production. But this kind of activity stops in D365. VSTS tool is involved for the versioning. Using the VSTS, we are moving the code and creating the package. Package contains the complete details of your project. Example, there are two technical tools. They created the report and I develop something related to the form. I will check in from the different projects. But when you create a package, it will merge both the projects and bring only one package. Using this VSTS, Visual Studio Team Service. VSTS stands for the Visual Studio Team. Using this, they are creating the packages. This is a new feature, new tool introduced by the Microsoft, only in applicable in Dynamics since it's a cloud hosted. Now, coming to the LCS. LCS is a tool now used to input and export or deploy move the project from one environment to other environment. As I told you here, VSTS create the package. I will choose the package and use the LCS tool to move the package from DevBox to UAT and UAT to production. This is hosted in IaaS and this is a part of the Azure DevOps. Okay, I will briefly explain it when it comes to the picture of training session. This LCS we are using lifecycle services using for the import and export or deployment the package from one environment to other environment. The Power BI can now easily embedded in the D365 with a simple setup and configuration. Okay, as you know, right, the Microsoft Dynamics having the features of collaborating with the multiple software. We can link easily set up with the help of few configurations like Power Automation, Power BI, and Azure Office 365 and Azure DevOps. Directly we can link with the Dynamics 365 with a few setups. And D365 view from the browser, as I told you, D365 is a new feature introduced and which is hosted in the cloud. We can access from the browser. Here mentioned there is no client required to install the separately. Since 2012, we have to install the Windows application, but D365 no need. Now it is hosted on IaaS. We can access with the help of URL. And the data entities are used in the D365. So data entities means DXF framework, data import and export framework. Okay. So DXF framework, how it will help today? I have a number of transactions in the vendor. I have 1,000 vendors, 1,000 customers. I need to export these customer transactions and customer details to the CRM part, other system. So how it will help? Directly we can go and create each and every in the Excel. Using this data entity, we can choose the which table having the transaction. That table we choose as a data source and we can create the data entity. After creating the data entity, we can use in the import and export project functionality. This will easily create user. Even you can also like it will user friendly manner. Directly we can pick the customer relation detail. If we choose the entity, it will export into the Excel. Or we can export to CSV or XML. There are many options. Okay, this functionality introduced in the Microsoft Dynamics 365. Overhead has been stopped in case of any changes. You will have to change. As I told you earlier, the overhead has been stopped. 2012. Directly we can write on the standard of like Microsoft provided standard application. Okay. And coming to the D365, the standard functionality modification is stopped. Only if you want to apply changes, you have to create extension. And if you want to create any project, model needs to be mandatory to create a development. Okay. This I will tell you in the picture, like example, when you want to create some customization, we cannot directly create without having the model and project. The model needs to be created for each and every changes. So each and every time we don't need to create. One time if you create the model, we can use the model for entire project based upon the requirement. And now you can see new workspace is required and all fixes and updated all will be active. So today, like today, Microsoft introduced a new features like instead of example I'm telling normally, like instead of creating the form pattern, default when you choose the type of the form, it will automatically update. So any new features will come, they will release one hotfix. Like in the mobile, if you want to apply something, latest update will happen. The same thing in Microsoft also, in our product. Any new features introduced by the Microsoft, they will release one hotfix. We can download the hotfix and upload in our machine. It will automatically the features will be added to our Dynamics. Now the version of new features which is done architecture. Okay. So what is the architecture? In Dynamics, what kind of architecture that we are using? Over here you can see the diagram of the picture which will give you some brief information. So three-tier architecture that we are using in the Microsoft Dynamics. How it will help? What is a three-tier? Three-tier means the client, server and database in the simple word we can see. We have three different kind of components. One client is a one type, server is a second type, and database is a third type. Okay. A client is like example, you are my client. You requested the Microsoft Dynamics. I want to fetch the data of all the customers. When you click the button, it will fetch all the customer information. You are requesting to the server. They are calling as application object server. Okay, I need customer details. You are asking to the system, I need customer details. What system will do? It will hit to the application object server, which is hosted in IAE. And this application object server receives the request from the client, and it will request to the database. Again, application object is requesting to the database saying user client wants to fetch the customer details. Okay, so server will go and ask the database, and it will respond with the data. Okay, today you are requesting something, it will respond, and it will give the complete information to the object server, and it will render to the enterprise portal. So basic information, like example, I will show you. Now I am requesting to the system like what is this system? This is the client is requesting. When I click the enter button, it will render to the application object. It will send to the application object. Now when I click the button, it will give the information from the database and again send to the UOL and display into the printer. So this cycle process that we are using in D365. Okay? Yes, you are getting my point.
Hello, sir. I have one question.
Yeah.
Actually, this type of architecture was used in the earlier version up to from 2009 to 2012. It was a standalone system. We personally used to install all the things. The AO server was different, SQL database. But now in this D365, so you are saying it is cloud based. So if the client, if the customer wants, if we have got new project and we want to start with that new, so are we going to purchase that this cloud service from the Microsoft, or we have the if the client wants their data should be private, not should be in the cloud? So what will be the approach in this case?
I will show you the one simple way. New workspace to be installed, right? When I told you the new workspace to be created for the requirement, like today, like I got a new project like Glass Factory, okay? For them, we need to create workspace specific to the client. Each and every client we are creating a workspace. At the time of creating workspace, system will ask you, this is a three-tier access standard functionality from the beginning. No need to install anything. This is for your first question, right? This client, server and database. No need to install specific to that. It will be defaultly come from the Microsoft when you are creating the workspace. Okay?
Okay.
Because at the time of creating, standardly, if I open the system, then only you will come to know the basics. So, standardly, the picture of the workspace, how it will be designed. I'm creating one dev box and do it here, production. I will choose one version. D12, V2 is a version. So when you pick that, data of the standard and the module, everything will be automatically come from the Microsoft. Okay. And the structure creator architecture will be three different. You should not create anything. And the second question, we can able to maintain the data with the specific. Yes, we can. We have an option called save data per company. Okay. Example, you can see the TCS company. Okay. TCS, we have a steel factory, car manufacturing. Okay. And aluminum factories. There are many in the TCS Tata company. So one workspace will be created with a different entities. If I open the one entity, it will show only specific to the entity. If I open the TCS company and aluminum factory data, it should not show the manufacturing companies of the entity. It will only show related to the aluminum. That is called save data per company.
I was not meaning up. Actually, I had this doubt that earlier we all used to install on our means the curve. For example, if I am working in the Infosys and I used to install the Infosys, so I used to install the things on Infosys server. Right now, if we right now there is no means that cost will be saved, right? So we are using directly the Microsoft Cloud. You are saying?
Yeah, Sonam, right? Sonam, that is what I'm telling. At the time of creating the workspace, you are picking the D2L V2 version. When you pick the version path, what system will do? The workspace build, it will come along with the URL of the printer and the Twitter architecture defined, and it will automatically create the application object server and it will link to the SQL server. Okay.
Where will be all those servers? Means physically, where are those servers? I have this question. Physically, where are these servers? On the Microsoft side or the customer side? Means if the company has got some project, if the Infosys has got some project for the D365. So where is the physical location of the server?
Physical location of the server, it will available only in the cloud. Okay. You need to download.
But on the Microsoft side or the Infosys side?
Infosys side. Why? Because they are giving the permissions to you. Like subscription, you have to take from the Microsoft. Example, Amazon Prime. What they are doing? They are creating one request to you, and after paying some amount, they will release to you one account. Correct? Same here, when you are subscribing from the Microsoft with the amount of 80 crore, 80 lakhs, or it will be the cost around as per your size. Okay, my size around 500 TB data I'm going to store based upon my requirement and company size. Okay, so 500 TB of the workspace Microsoft will release to you. Okay, they will give the credentials of the LCS. As I told you, LCS that they're using for the creating the workspace. Correct here. If you open the LCS, you can see the size of the environment that they are releasing to me and how much and how many databases I can create, different kind of development environment I can use. Okay. After creating the workspace,
that server cost is reduced, right? Means that will be saved.
Example, we have a 10 technical team. Okay. 10 technical, 10 different kind of. We have only one subscription. Using one subscription, we can use different number of DevOps, different number of DevOps. So at the time of creating the DevOps, when you are creating one DevOps, it will specify to the some TB of the data, correct? Okay. So for the particular DevOps, they are going to charge additional. We are giving the subscription with the amount of current. If you are creating number of DevOps, they keep on there adding the charges based upon your utility.
Okay, so every time this has to pay the Microsoft, means every time they have to purchase that subscription.
No, ma'am. Only one time you have to purchase. There's a limit in the period. Like 5 years, I will use this subscription. Okay.
If the number of developers are increased,
number of developers increase, obviously the charges also will be increased. If you are deleting the developers, example, Today I have a requirement. So requirement will not be there entire life. Right? Like it will be only for project will only for the 2 years or 3 years, correct? In the development phase.
Okay.
Okay. During the 2 years, if you created 5 DevOps for the development service, they will start. And after done with your development, you release to the production, everybody utilizing your product. So what user will do? They will delete all the DevOps, they will keep only one. It will move to the support.
Yes, yes.
Do you know that? Do you know that once the
Mhm.
implementation is completed, the project will move to the support?
Yes, yes. Then the developers are
Yeah.
shifted to another
Development phase. Yes. Development
few
phase.
developers.
Yeah, it will move to the support. So what that time, the charge will be decreased. For the support, they charge different amount. The development will charge a different amount. Development means complete implementation. It's a new. Support means we are just doing the minor changes on top of the customer. Okay. And your question is like what this three kind of architecture and database everything we have to install. No need. When you create the workspace, which is predefined, it will automatically come along with the DevOps. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Now the LCS. What is the meaning of LCS? LCS is a life cycle services for the Microsoft Dynamics. It's a collaboration portal that provides the environment to legally update the service operations. Like as I told you earlier, today I released some new features. Using the LCS only we can download the hot pictures and we can create the dev boxes. In the real-time scenario, I will show you how it will be useful. Well, now I'm telling the basic information. So the features released by the Microsoft, and this is hosted in the LCS and hosted in the cloud. You can access from the browser. If you go to the browser and you can search Microsoft LCS. As I told you, so now if you took the subscription for your company, Microsoft will provide you the user ID and password. If you log in this with the user ID and password, you can see your complete environmental size and how many dev boxes and what is the UAT and what is the production. Everything will be available within the system. So today I'm going to show you. So this is my MCA, one of the projects which I'm using. And if you come here, cloud hosted project, like how many dev boxes I created? 5. Okay, for each dev boxes, if you are running in the daily, they are charging around $180 or $200. Basic information I'm telling. Okay, once the development is completed, you can reallocate this dev box. Okay, create a new workspace. You can use this add button and we can create. This is the life cycle service. Okay, now the tools that we are using in the LCS, the project and cloud hosted environment. As I told you now, earlier I showed you, right? Cloud hosted environment, where it will listed the dev boxes. And using the cloud hosted environment tool, we can download the dev boxes and we can create the dev box and we can delete the dev and perform the code operations like create, delete, update. Asset library. This asset library feature, how it will help to move the package from one environment to other environment. We are storing the asset library without package. And environment monitoring support, using this support can create the Microsoft request. If you struck something, you're facing one issue in the development box, to whom you have to reach. Since it is maintained by the Microsoft, to purchase from the Microsoft, you have to reach the Microsoft by raising the support request and LCS security. As you asked me earlier, everybody can able to access the dev boxes. There should be some limit number of users if you want to set up. Those users having the authentications to access, the configurations will be done in the LCS security. And these things will be taken care from the management. For technicals, no need to worry. The admin department will take care of it. Only our work asset library and support sometimes we have to manage. Roles in healthcare security is like project owner. Yeah, this is the admin part that they will take, like environment manager and project team members and operations users. Like I have a manufacturing company of the electronic of the TVS. Okay, I have a 20 users. Those 20 users request with the Gmail ID which they have to create in the operation. Only those users can able to access this. Like that, they can predict and restrict this. And how to create the environment using the as I show you earlier, did you observe that when you click the add button, the environment gets created. There you have to choose the versioning and also the size of and which zone you have to create this environment. There are some setups that you have to follow. I will prepare one document and share with you guys the way of creating the environment in the real time. And coming to this development of the Microsoft Dynamics. If you come to the agenda, I have shown like application object tree. What is the application object? The application object tree contains all the elements within the application that we are using to build an application. Example, requirement like user want to maintain the employee history. Yesterday, one employee resigned the job. Okay. After resignation, system already maintaining the past employees data, but even they need additional requirements like they want to create a separate form and they want to maintain transaction in custom. custom. So for each and every requirement, you want to use the application object tree. Without using AOT, you cannot even create EDT. You cannot even add any field in the button. So this is the Microsoft Dynamics application. Without application object tree, you cannot able to perform and create and develop any object. Okay. Now I'm going to show you what kind of elements that we are using. What are the elements that we have in the AOT? So we are calling short form as AOT. To understand application object tree, we are calling as AOT. AOT contains the data type, data model, code, and user interface. So data type means like guys, basic information related to the data type, right? You people already aware like what kind of data types that we are using. String, integer, string will store the group of characters, and in Dynamics we don't have a character option like if you watch this movie. And here we have integers and real, enum. When if you're doing something like male, female, a gender filter, for that we are using the base one as a data type. So all kind of data types are available in this element. Coming to the data model. What is the data model? It contains the complete structure where we are going to store the data. In Dynamics, we are storing data in the table. Here you can observe in the data model image, you can see here it is showing the table, rows and columns. Okay. So here we have data entities, view, table, and queries where we are storing the data. It will contain a group of elements. And the code. Coming to the code part, where we are writing the code for the perform some activity, suppose some activity or like to do some action. When you click some button, the code will execute and it will do the some functionality, like posting or deleting or creation. So to do this activity, to perform some action, we are writing the code in the class. Classes and macros will be contained code element. This we are calling as the node. Under the nodes we have a classes element. Under the elements we have an object. The structure I will show you once we get access to the environment. I'll show you the structure of the node element and object. Like similarly, user interface means this is a user interface. Example, this is a user interface. This is user interface. So to see the user interface, where we can find under the form node, it will contain the user name. So it is a form. It will display the data, the user, and they can, using this form, we can create or delete or update the time. Form only for the display purpose. Now, reports, like same like other elements, how it is available, security references for this reports. Like once you're done with the requirement, like you created around 100 transactions. So you want to see 100 transactions in single report. The report is a final part of the development. Why? Because user created some transactions or they did some posting operations and delete some operations or update something. Like when you pick the sales order you created, once the sales is created, what you will do? You will pick the order and you will packing the order and you will do the invoice. So these kind of activities will happen only in the form. But if you want to filter only those sales order which is invoice, if you want to filter only invoice data in the report, we can design one report and provide to the customer. They will check, okay, today we have created 100 sales orders, out of the 100, 5 is stick and 10 is in the still open order, remaining 20 is the posted and invoice. When you filter with the invoice, it will come in the report with a single paper format. Okay, today 110 invoices are posted and out of 10, 20 is invoice. But those kind of information we can find in the reports. Now coming to the flows of implementations. As I told you earlier guys, like when you're creating a project in D365, first we need to create model. Why model is required? Model is a group of elements within the application. Okay, if you see the first picture, before the picture, under the element, we have a number of objects. Cash table, rent table, sales table, sales line. Those are the objects that we are storing the data. So you updated something related to the customer and vendor or sales. You apply some customization. When you are creating the package to move UAT server and production server, we have to create project. So using the project creation at the time of initially, system will ask what model you are going to choose. Systems having the standard model, application suite, application foundation, and fleet management, general ledger. These are the modules. So if you pick one custom module, all the objects will belong to only the specific model. Why? Because when you're creating any project for the client, the development should be happen within the model. That too, it's a custom model, not in the standard. Okay. So for that, we are creating the model. Under the model, what we have? Obviously, the data types and models will be there. Under the elements, we have objects. Okay. So after creating the model, and you created the project, and add some customization, created new tables in the objects. So today, you're going to move from one environment to other environment. For that, you need to create a package. When you create the package, it will come the group of models. Two different kind of models, you can create one package. These real-time scenarios, when you're working on with Dynamics, you will come to. This is the complete basic information related to the Microsoft Dynamics. What is the flow and types of the version, the workflow configuration, and when you're creating a new enrollment, what kind of activities we have to follow. Those are the details will be covered during the session. If you guys have any doubt related to this today's session, you can ask me. Can you please tell me how many members joined today in the training site?
Hello, sir. Actually, as you said earlier, this LCS is like buying the subscription for the Microsoft. So the actual physical computers in the cloud, they are on the Microsoft side. Means the cost of buying the hardware for installing the AX, that is reduced. Means that is not the overhead for the company right now.
Exactly. We are just a developer
Like,
in order to worry about the management. Okay. So this will be taken. Yeah, I will answer your question.
it is same like Netflix and Amazon service, right? It is same. The actual physical computers are with them, Microsoft. But we are buying that workspace, so that is used for only that
No,
particular company buying.
no. Since I told you this is cloud hosted environment. Okay. Okay. Example, if you see Gmail, you log in the Gmail. It will. What is the limit of the size in the Gmail?
That is defined for per user, and you can if it is full, then you can buy their subscription as well.
Exactly. Same like in the LCS, Microsoft also. Gmail currently we are using freely. Upcoming 2025 or 26, even when you create the account, they are going to charge. That's going to be happening soon. So here also currently we are using freely with the 15 GB data. If it is exceed the 15 GB, you are going to pay like 100 rupees for 10 GB, right? Same way here the dynamics. So Microsoft, like client, we are example, the requirement came, okay, I have some production and need Microsoft because Microsoft cost computing is very less compared to SAP. SAP for 2 or 3 modules, they are charging 3 crores of crores, okay, including the support. But coming to the dynamics, we are charging for based upon the modules like less as per the size of the company, size of the industry or organization. We may charging within the 50 lakhs hours. Okay, so advantage of the dynamics is the less to run the book. And another thing, for your question, the management will be take care from the subscription level, and since it is hosted in the cloud, no need to store from the Microsoft and URL within the application. Physical storage and physical software installation not required by the Microsoft. Okay, you just need to download once the DevBox is created. The size of the DevBox is around 15 GB, 15 MB. That's it. You're getting my point.
Yes.
Physical installation, nothing required by the Microsoft. I will show you the presentation which I give you. Then you can see the fourth, the fifth slide. As I mentioned that 2012 and D365 declare. 2012 is a Windows application, D365 is a cloud hosted environment. So when your subscription and create a new environment, it will store in the cloud only, not in our machine. Same like Gmail. If you want to access, you need to access from the cloud only. If you are adding in the drive, it will store in the cloud, not in our system. You're getting my point?
Yes. Now it's clear. Thanks.
Guys, if you have any doubts, please speak only. Where is Rishi?
Yeah, hi sir. Actually, I don't have any doubt, but I want to ask one thing. Like, suppose I am as a beginner, so where I can perform all the activity? Like, how can I test and how can I start the development process? So, is there any a free trial available so that we can access that one? Because directly we cannot afford it.
Exactly. For each and every developer, this is a major problem in the dynamics. So directly we cannot get like if you go to SQL, we can install from the outside. We can work. But coming to D365, we have to take the subscription. Free trial also will be available with $120 or $150. You can purchase from the Microsoft. And they will create one free text, free demo environment. Using the demo environment, we can work on it. If it is coming to the institute, they will provide you one demo environment. Using that, we can go ahead.
But
So that
during this demo, like, can we expect like how we can install it?
Installation not.
Like
I will show you. The first session I will start with that only. Like
okay. Yeah, sure.
how to access LCS directly. I cannot
Yeah,
go and show you that. within the environment, I will not create the tables, forms, and development, right? You can ask me in the future also how this development environment created. That also I am going to show using the.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. My expectation like in coming demo, whenever you will present, like the same thing from my side also I will try.
Exactly.
Means I want to test it.
Same thing I'm going to follow. That I will design.
Okay. Yeah, got it.
Okay. Anybody here from Visualpath management side? At least can you please tell me your name from the training team so that I come to know here everybody from the training or management. I will come to know that how many members are available so that I can spend the time from tomorrow. I will plan accordingly. We'll start from Ankita. Anita. Okay. I think everyone clear. Let's close the session for today. Have a nice day, guys. Bye.